Third meeting of the Millis School Committee. My name is Mark Conroy. I'm the chair. Start with attendance. To my left, Robin Briggs.
Here.
Mr. Mullaney.
Yep.
Right, Shayna.
Here.
And Sean Powers. And Denise is not here tonight. And all right, next I will announce that this meeting is being recorded and can be viewed on Mondays at 7 o'clock on Comcast Channel 8 or Verizon Channel 37. All meeting videos are also posted to the Millis Public Schools website under School Committee. All videos are also available on YouTube. All school committee meeting minutes and agendas can be found on the School Committee page of the Millis Public School website. Persons wishing to speak during open session must sign in before the meeting starts. Comments are not to exceed 3 minutes in time. All right, we don't have anybody here for open session. We don't have any student reps. A teacher rep is en route and may be here before we're done, but may not be. So we'll go to action items. First is consideration to approve the trip to the Dominican Republic for the 24-25 school year. Ms. Padalino.
Hi. Good evening.
How are you?
Thank you. The trip that I am hoping to take next year with students is a trip to the Dominican Republic. I've never taken a trip with Millis to the DR, but I was fortunately able to visit in the past few years, and I was really impressed with some of the variety of activities that we haven't done yet. So I was interested in planning a trip. The trip is called Youth Leadership in the DR, and something that's unique is its focus on connection with natives and the students' opportunities to speak with them. This trip includes a visit to a community called the Rio Grande Abajo community. It's a self-contained community, and they all work together to create coffee and sell it throughout the world. We share all the profits equally. And we would learn about the process and then eat with the people that live there. We also have a leadership workshop. It's called Cabarete Sostenible. It was created during the pandemic to help families that are struggling with food security. So we'd learn about that and help them. There is a Dream environmental project. I'm not going to go into all of them, but another leadership workshop with vulnerable women and children, and an exchange with a drama group. So we usually don't have this many things. There's other fun things like horseback riding and a surf lesson. There's a place called the 27 Waterfalls of Damahagua, and it's unbelievable. Like, this kids will get to jump into waterfalls and natural slides, so that's really exciting too. But in particular, I was excited about planning a trip where they'd have all these opportunities to connect with Dominicans. So this trip would be small. It's a group of 14 students, and I would lead along with my Spanish colleague, Spanish teacher colleague, Yvonne Fitzgerald. Does anyone have any questions?
How many students normally go?
How many?
Yeah, like when you, most years, how many do you end up taking?
Well, the program's gotten bigger and bigger. Originally, I wanted this one to be closed at like 24, and to be honest, there wasn't as much interest. I'm actually planning out for 2 years in advance because of financial reasons, and I had 80 students apply for Europe.
Wow.
So well, I can't take that many.
Yeah.
But I would say on average the past 5 trips, like 45.
That's what I thought. 14
Yeah.
is really small.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, we've never gone with that few people. But because of the nature of this trip, like, we would have a small bus, and all the activities, I think it's better with a small group. And it's always been like a 1-to-6 ratio. This one happens to be 1-to-7 because there's 14. But there's also somebody from the ground with our group 24/7. So it would be 3 adults.
And it would be February vacation.
Oh, yeah. I think that might have played a role as well. There are a number of students who participate in sports, and so it's not a great option to travel during February.
Oh, because usually it's April.
Normally it's April break.
Is it only for Spanish immersion kids, or anyone can go?
No, absolutely anyone. And I wanted to share, let's see, 1, 2, it looks like we have 3 students who will be seniors. Then 1, 2, 3, actually 4. It's equal between students who will be sophomores. I guess there's more juniors and then seniors. But there will be students who are in the regular college prep level, honors, and immersion as well.
Cool.
Yeah. I was actually really surprised that the regular, like from my level 2 is usually a freshman class, and I had students who were so enthusiastic, and I had envisioned this particular trip to be more immersion because of the opportunities to speak, but they were delighted with that, and I would never say no to anyone who wanted to try. You know?
Sure.
Cool.
That's great.
Sounds like there's a lot of great leadership opportunities
Yeah.
embedded in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
My itinerary looks good.
The itineraries.
All right, anybody else have any other questions? All right, so we are approving this because it's out of state and out of country.
Mr. Chair,
Ms. Briggs?
I make a motion to approve the trip to the Dominican Republic for the 24-25 school year during February vacation.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very
Thank
much.
you for doing this. for the
Yes,
kids.
this
it's
sounds
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
I want to
It's
go.
been
Yeah.
done for years now.
Thank
Much
you.
appreciated.
Yeah. All right, next we have consideration to waive Clyde Brown gym fee for a basketball camp to be run during the February break as a senior project. So we received an email
Right.
from Eli Chansky, who's a senior, and his senior project is to coordinate a basketball camp for youth, and it can be over February break. It's not all 5 days, but I think it's 4 of them. If I have his email.
Yeah, they're working on the details.
Yeah.
With extended day and all that, so that's in the works.
So he just asked if we would waive the rental fees, and then the funds generated are going to be donated back to the school basketball program, boys basketball program.
Yeah, I was wondering like how many days it was, because it doesn't say in this email how
see,
many
'cause
days we're going to do it.
Now, I think they're still working that out.
Sure.
It's going to be during regular hours that the building's open, so there's no custodial overtime or anything like that. No.
What would the
need for
typical
extra.
gym fee be for a day to rent it? Do you know?
Don't know off the top of my
Off the
head.
top of my head.
He said, so his email to me, because
Okay,
I had asked him about dates, and he said he was thinking about doing over February 26th, 27th, and 28th, so only 3 days
Okay.
from 12 to 3. So it wouldn't even be a full day. It's just,
I guess I'm
Actually
just
be a half
curious like
day.
what the amount is he's asking to waive. Do you know what it is, Terry?
My recollection is that would be approximately $360.
For 3 days?
Is 3 days or 4 days?
3 days.
Yes, for
3 days, so it lasts 270.
$270.
$30 an hour.
$30.
Yep.
And generally speaking, when senior projects in the past, we have waived fees.
Right, we have a running like fee waiver request spreadsheet that I just pulled up. And it's typically from different like groups like come in like that Eli wants to, the basketball groups. So about $270. Chair. I make a motion to waive the Clyde Brown gym fee for the basketball camp that will be run in February vacation for a senior project by Eli Jansen.
Second.
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Last action item is to approve the January 9th meeting minutes.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to approve the January 9th meeting minutes.
Second. Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
carries. No time in learning, as part of the chair report, MSBA update. Bob, you want to?
Sure, yeah. So we're putting together an educational visioning team. So we'll be meeting, myself, middle school principal, high school principal, director of curriculum instruction assessment, director of student services, director of technology. We're meeting with TAPE's educational consultant on Friday for kind of like a kickoff meeting. And part of that will be to discuss forming an educational visioning team that will include educational staff from the school, community leaders, students, parents, community members, to look at the high-level view of what are some elements we want to make sure building project, renovation project will address. So that educational visioning group will go through 3 or 4 workshops, about 2.5 hours. Will be virtual, so people will be able to participate, from their homes and things. So it'll be kind of convenient. So hopefully we can get some good input. So we have that kickoff meeting with just the educational leadership team on Friday. We're tentatively looking at the Thursday before February vacation for the first workshop. That's very tentative at this point. And there'll be, like I said, 3 or 4 session workshops conducted by TAPE's educational consultant. And that's in addition to some community focus groups set up by Vertex, which would be more the nuts and bolts of, what would the room setup, ideal room setup be, and things like that. So that's exciting to get into that part of it. The design is looking at the educational impact that a project can have on the school.
Now, with having done Clyde Brown so recently, do you guys have takeaways from that build that you would have done differently and want to make sure are implemented here? Different school, obviously, property level, education and stuff,
We're
but
certainly going to be in contact with Clyde Brown and some of the things, that they would have done differently. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
going to go to school on that a bit. Yeah.
yeah.
The nice thing too about it is with TAPE, they were also involved with the Clyde Brown, so we have basically, they can be leveraged too of like, okay, how did we do it during Clyde Brown? What things hit, what stumbling blocks hit? So it's not just on the school staff, on the school side, all the construction design professionals are also the same group, so and literally mostly the same people, so that helps too.
Yeah, there's a lot of familiarity there.
That's great. It's nice.
Yeah.
Then for FY25 update, budget update, so Terry's working through salary projections and out-of-district tuition projections, which are the 2 biggest pieces. And I think the last I heard is they're looking for possibly a tri-board meeting February 27th, which is, we're scheduled to meet the 27th, so it would just be in lieu of our regular meeting. Because by then, we'll be able to have town local revenue numbers as well as, like, the governor's supposed to come out with a budget this week, which I'm not even remotely optimistic about in terms of funding. When the article came out last week that I think local aid and Chapter 70 funding were each going up about 3% in total, that doesn't bode well for anybody, let alone us. So my guess is we'll be looking at best, it'll be flat. And then we'll see what local revenue comes in at. So, but more on that. And so that's a 25 update. Superintendent's report, you have anything?
Just this Friday, we have an early release day for students. The educational staff is going to be working on the district curriculum accommodation plan, known as the DCAP. And the DCAP is a requirement by the state that each district and each individual school have a curriculum accommodation plan. And essentially, it's a document that outlines all the methodologies, programs, services available for regular education students. All those things that happen in classrooms to address the unique learning styles, situations of each kid. So it's everything we do kind of before it gets to looking at an IEP or a 504. So we'll be working on that, updating that, and going over that with the staff. And that is
Everything.
it.
Is Stephanie in practice? Is that where she is?
Yeah, she's not in the building, so I can, I'll text her.
Well, I mean, we can wait a few minutes if she's like on her way.
But she said around 8. She wasn't on site. So,
Okay. Then we can tell her not to worry about it then.
Yeah, I can text
That's
her.
fine. Yeah, because if she's, then she can just reroute home
Right,
instead of
exactly.
Yeah.
coming here, trying to race here. All right, then I would entertain a motion. We do have executive session, so we'll need a motion to go to executive session.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to go into executive session for contract negotiation and union and non-union personnel, not to return to open session.
Seconded, it's a roll call vote. Sean? Aye. Shayna?
Hi.
Aye. Robin?
Aye.
All right, we are set. Our next scheduled meeting is February 6th here. Thank you all. Have a good night.